So, good evening, as it is officially evening here now, that is. So, a couple of things I wanted to mention. I didn't make videos again for a couple weeks, but there was a couple things, and I could have filmed them, but there was really nothing to film about it. But, I mean, I started to, don't get me wrong, but then it's like no content really presented itself with what had happened. So my challenger here, as car guys, you know the very infamous, the ever so infamous light that we all love seeing. Don't panic though. But there is a reason for it, but I do have my check engine light now. Finally through a check engine light, and that's because I had to go to the dealer to get the computer reflashed for a little like recall thing that has been really ongoing for like a couple of years now, I'm wanting to say. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and just let them go ahead and get that done. And I was just talking about it. I was just like, wow, it hasn't thrown any check engine lights still since the reflash. And like no sooner I said that, I was up the highway, ding! So I was driving around with a check engine light for a few days there. Took it back by MXA Motorsports, let them do their magic to get it back in running order, and now it's well, proper running order. So now it's got its, you know, kickback that they put into it initially, because it lost that when the check engine light came on. But the subject of today is this bad boy, with this bad boy. So I'm finally going to get around to cutting this thing off, and I think I've decided the way I'm going, because I have a couple of options on how I could do this, and I think I've decided the way that I'm going to is I'm going to try and like just cut like right here out, so I can access the nuts and bolts that are just beyond here. But I'm going to try and save the mount that it's attached to as much as I can. But failing that, if I still can't really get it to work out, then we're just going to chop the thing off, basically just as brutally as I need to. Fascinating. I reckon it wasn't clamped down quite well enough or something, but we have burned a giant hole through my abrasive disc. Might have to go get some new cutting wheels. So yeah, that happened. Whoops. I might just go ahead and cut it out like kind of wildly. But my thing is I also have this wire jammed back here that I don't want to end up cutting. So another thing that I've run into here is that where I was cutting, it runs right in line with a seam. I just didn't think about it. But like right down the middle here, it's going to be doubled up, because that's the rigid reinforced part of the bumper. What I could do is I could resort to just cutting like along the edges to cut out enough area to get like a wrench in there to maybe take the bolts off or whatever, so that way it saves me a lot of, you know, unnecessary cutting. Either way, it's going to be a good bit of effort. I've got all of the noises happening right now. Holy crap. Got like an airplane getting ready to kamikaze over there or something. I don't know what's going on with that. There he is. It's a weird looking plane. What are you? That was a strange looking plane. But, so yeah, either way is going to be quite a bit of added effort to kind of get the result that I need. Guys, it's actually the next weekend over from the previous footage because I got caught up in like other things, didn't get back to this that day. That's just how my story goes. So by the time you're seeing this, I'm just several vlogs behind me. You already know that. So I cut out like just a little square here and a little square here to kind of expose these nuts a little bit better. That way I can get something on them and like turn them to loosen them up and get them out of there. These on the bottom, however, would be a little bit more tricky, but my thinking is if I can get these exposed and get them out, then it's just those two supporting it and I might be able to just wrench them off. If you're trying to do it clean, you're typically also not trying to cut, you know, notches in it to get to it because your bumper's not been smashed in. So yeah, I'm not a professional. Just don't take any of this as professional advice. I might be kind of a professional idiot to some of this stuff, but I'm not a professional. So, change of plan, slightly. I can't find my earplugs, so I'm gonna go get some earplugs, and I think I'm also gonna go get me some energy. I am in a distinct lack of energy drinkage. I'm in a very distinct lack of energy drinkage. I could use an energy drinkage, or drink. No, but yeah, I could seriously use an energy drink, and I cannot find my earplugs for anything. Yeah. I can't find my earplugs for anything. So, I'm going to go do that right quick. And then we're going to continue with this mess. Yes, I'd say this is fairly accessible now. I should be able to get anything that I need into these areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my proper socket for that. And I'm going to try to wrench it off. Let's see what we can do here. After I get those, we'll see if I can't just pry it off with it being just supported by the two bolts on the bottom. They should be pretty... I don't know, in pretty bad condition, so it should just wrench right off. I mean, they make these things sturdy, and I mean, with good reason. They are, at the end of the day, a safety feature, so that way if you front end collide with something, it reduces the impact on the people inside. I know, it worked. It worked.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So a rare thing, I think a rare thing just happened. It's not that I think it's a rare thing, it is a pretty rare thing. It's just I think it happened. I walked right to a spot where I thought my tools were, and the ones I needed were right there. I think. Would you look at that? All right, let's just adjust you. Yep, broke free just fine. Or is it just rotating? No, it doesn't look like it's actually turning. I guess it is. There it goes. Oh, that's the, okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, it's turning. it played with my eyes for a second there because it looked like this, like was the ring there, the nut, the washer. I mean, why do I want to call everything a nut today? I guess because I am a nut. So yeah, the washer wasn't moving. I was like, is it just like spinning? What's going on? But yeah, no, it broke free. It felt like it broke free initially. I was like, why ain't it moving? Didn't look like it was moving. But it is. Look at that. So beautiful. It just all came together. And like everything was right where I needed it to be. Or where I thought it was going to be. But just like that, boom, it's out. What? Check this out. So y'all remember, check this out. The bolt that I pointed out to y'all before, that's welded in place on the back here. Like it does not move, or should I say not supposed to move. This one's moving. It actually has clean, broke free of its welds, and it's now just moving in place back there. So now this thing is just freely spinning, and I can't really do anything with that in terms of, you know, using the ratchet. So now I'm going to have to like hold that in place and then use the ratchet, and that's where it kind of comes in handy to have the smaller pliers. So my welded in place bolt has come off, but so has my, see, now I'm calling the nut a bolt. What the fuck is going with my brain today? The welded on nut's on off along with the bolt is what I'm trying to say. The bolt is out as well, so that's both the top ones out. This thing should be so much less secured now. I'll get back to you all in just a moment. I might actually go ahead and charge my GoPro in the meantime. That gives the lawn care time to kind of subside. I was over here just kind of ranching on it with my hands off camera, and I even cut on it. I even cut on it a little more on the bottom and folded this back with the crowbar and all, in order to try and maybe get more access to this bolt that's just really is shoved up under there. So it'd been easier just to pry that loose. I was musing on that anyway. I was pulling on it, and I was like, well, it's like it's rocking more and more. And I started like, you know, pulling on it, putting all the force through my heels and pulling up. And I noticed that this was starting to tear back here, like I wanted it to do kind of in the first place when I was prying on it, either come loose here or pull off here. And you can see where it has now sheared. It has now sheared free of itself. I want to share with you all me wrenching the bumper off of the 350. Well, we're certainly further along than we were. And that's your removal of the front bumper. So, adios to that thing. And now, whenever I get to it, I can start removing all the other crap and get this engine out of here for when I want to, you know, to then put it into something else entirely. whenever that time comes. So there we have it. And you can also hit that like button, the bell notification icon thingy. They're all down there. All that stuff's down there. The bell icon. Yeah, you know, YouTube stuff down there, buttons. Hit them. And I hope to see you all in the passenger seat next ride.